Hey, my name's Rob, and I get to serve as one of the pastors here at Eastern Hills. If I was sitting in your shoes, one of the questions that I would be asking myself is, why do I want to serve with this guy? Why do I want to join this team? Let me tell you a little bit about my story. I didn't grow up in church. I grew up with a Catholic background. I got confirmed when I was 16 years old. I would say that God existed, but I wouldn't say that I really knew who Jesus was. Went away to college my freshman year, got involved in the party scene, and at the end of that year, I was just lost. Moved cross country to California, and where God brought a youth pastor into my life. I showed up after being hammered with invites to church from people that were involved in this Christian subculture. For the first time, I was hearing about Christian clothing and Christian movies, and it just seemed kind of weird, kind of like a cult, to be honest with you. And then this youth pastor showed up, and through this process of answering the questions that I had about the Bible and the New Testament, the Old Testament, and who God was, and seeing that he wasn't trying to fill my head with head knowledge, that he actually pointed to the truth of the scriptures, made me read it for the first time, and that's how I came to know Christ. And for 4 years, he came alongside me and discipled me, and then eventually, I myself stepped into student ministry. So I'm a former youth guy, so I can relate with you in that way, and that as youth guys, we get to shape the future leaders. We get to shape the ones that get to go away to school and to become world changers. And if that is something that fires you up, we're united in that. As you consider stepping into this role, as we think about our next student community minister, this is someone that's excited to build teams, that sees that ministry's not meant to be done on an island, that you're supposed to do it with a team of people around you. So if you're great at developing teams and that excites you, then we want to talk to you. And at the same time, we really looking for someone that loves middle school students, and that is their heartbeat when it comes to student ministry, that they're excited that it's not just an afterthought, that it really is something that they enjoy, is coming alongside those that are in that stage of life, critical stage of life, transitioning from elementary and right before a crucial next step into high school ministry. And we partner with a great organization called Young Life, and so that's super important to us, that you understand what Young Life's about and their unique impact that they're having in the community of Central New York. Now, another question I would ask myself is, what's this church about? What are the things that they're excited about? Well, to answer that question, you should understand this about Syracuse, is that Syracuse is one of the least Bible-minded places in the United States. And it's a church that's hungry for more healthy churches, people that want to step into communities and to not just talk about the person of Jesus, but actually to live out the love of Christ in a way that makes sense to those that are far from God. So there's things that we're wrestling with as a church, that we're dreaming up and that we're excited about, that I want to bring you into. One of those things is that as we talk about the type of church we envision being, is we want to be the type of church that's known what we're for rather than what we're against. So we envision a church that's for Central New York, that more than just gathering on Sunday mornings, we envision a church that goes out into the community, into the neighborhoods, into the schools, coming alongside parents, coming alongside those that are single, those that are hurt, those that are lost, those that are trapped in addiction. And when we envision that, here's what we have in mind. We see people showing up in hard places. We see a type of church that sees people as people and not projects. We see a church sharing the message of Christ in a helpful and hopeful way. Now, when we gather, because it's not just going, it's also gathering, we like to say that we can't control people, but we can control environments. So we create environments with the guest in mind. And we want to be the type of church that creates an environment where God's presence is experienced, but also expected. And that this is the type of environment where those that are disconnected from God, that they love to attend. Maybe they're de-churched, unchurched, post-church, whatever it is. They've got hard questions and we've got answers, and it's a safe place. And that when they show up on Sunday, we say, we expected you. And so if those are some of the things that you would get excited about, we want to invite you to consider joining our team, and I can't wait to meet you.